Hey, yo, my dude, what's good? It's your boy here, and welcome back to another episode of the TACHO show. Now, today we have probably the most hotly requested video that I've had in the past couple of months, which is to go ahead and do the tier list for all of the recent units that we've gotten. Now, we have so many units, and I've been skipping summons on a lot of banners, so it took a while before I felt comfortable enough with some of the units that I don't have, like just from fighting them and seeing them in action and hearing word of mouth, like what other people have to say about them. It took a while, but I feel like now I am comfortable enough with what a lot of the units are capable of and enough that I can rank them on a tier list. So we're going to do top 5 for each color. So we got red, blue, green, and colorless, of course. We also have a mode-specific tier where we may have a unit that's really, really good in one mode. Like, so good that you may even consider them better than some of the stuff we have in top 5 here. But it's only for one mode. So, at that point, can we really say that unit is dominant in the entire game? Probably not. But the three main modes, the major modes that I'm looking into for this tier list are Aether Raid's offense, Aether Raid's defense, and Summoner duels. Obviously, Summoner duels and Aether Raid's defense are going to have the most weight to them because those are the hardest modes. And then Aether Raid's offense, which is really easy, but it's still like one of the more important modes. I would have it ranked way higher than something like Arena, for example. Arena is really just, do you have merges or not, pretty much. So, yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at the units that we've got here. We're going to start in red. So we have our top 5 red units. And for me, that would be Emblem Roy. We got Duo Sigurd. We got Summer Sharena. We have the Bride Peony. And then we have Emblem Lucina. So a lot of these units are jack-of-all-trades units where they're just good at a lot of different things. Roy, for example, is doing so many things. Oh, my God. He gives reflex support. He gives frozen support. He gives tempo drive. He gives imbue drive. He's got miracle built in. He's got the range style built in. He's also setting up fire tiles when he attacks the enemies. Just an all-around really, really good unit. You could use him everywhere, pretty much. He's good in all 3 of the modes I mentioned. And personally, I don't use him in Aether Raid's offense. I prefer using the units that have a lot of built-in actions. But you could definitely get away with Roy for sure. And him resetting terrain is a pretty huge deal for that. So Roy is good just about everywhere you can run him. Then we have the Duo Sigurd, a really good DPSer. And also, not only that, he's the best unit in the game that has Gallop. So that means he's best friends with Alphador. Yeah, just being able to give Gallop to Alphador and then have him give it to everybody else is a big deal. So Sigurd being the best unit at that is really good. Also, he's a monster in basically all 3 of the modes. In Aether Raid's offense, he can be a great Gale Forcer with the Edelgard ring and a good DPSer. For Aether Raid's defense, if you give him range style from someone like Baby Erica or Mythic Lyn, and then he has a Gallop, he's basically covering the entire bottom section by himself. So he's really good there, and just in general, he's just a really good unit. Summer Sharena, really good Gale Force control. Well, Gale Force supporter. You run her on Aether Raid's offense. Your team is Gale Forcing like crazy. Really good frontline option as well in Summoner duels. She can be really nice in there. Very good speed tank. And she does have Taker Burst, which is one of the better skills right now. So overall, nothing really bad to say about Sharena. The only mode she may not be as good in is Aether Raid's defense. But she more than makes up for it with what she does in Aether Raid's offense and Summoner duels. Okay, next up, we have the Bride Peony, one of the better dancers in the game, probably the best dancer. I mean, it's between her and somebody else that we're going to talk about in one of the other colors. But yeah, this unit is not even a dancer. I feel like calling Bride Peony a dancer is doing her a disservice because she's literally just a unit. She's got crazy damage potential. She's giving crazy drive support. Like, she's just a unit. And then they gave her a dance ability just because. So, yeah, being able to be a dance unit right now in this meta where Byleth Ring can be given to anybody and you still stand out and you're still a worthwhile option, I think that says it all. So, Bride Peony's up there, also another reflex supporter. And then we have Emblem Lucina to finish us up. There were a couple of other units you may have been able to slide in over her, like the Summer Ike, who I can never decide what I want to call him, Beach Banner Ike, the Flag Bearer Ike, whatever, Cheerleader Ike, whatever. He could have possibly been up here too. Also, Harmonic Celica, I think, could have been an option as well. But overall, I just like what Lucina's doing more. She's giving so much more support on her assist. She also has Favor built in. She has, she's a great unit for Kanto Curb, and then she also has good use of the Lin Ring, where she can hit from 5 spaces away. Just an overall good DPSer, supporter, action economy unit. She just does everything. And then the DR support is there. It's nice. I mean, the DR support is really good. But only being once per turn is definitely the downfall of that. All right, still good enough for top 5, though. All right, let's go ahead and move on to our top 5 blue units now. So starting us off, we have Alphador, which is the god of stealing bonuses. Not really stealing, but just borrowing, because he doesn't remove them from the people that he takes them from, which if he did that, he would have straight up been the best unit in the game. But it's fine. I mean, he just grabs all the bonuses, and then he can give them to allies, which is more than enough to warrant being like one of the best units in the game right now, especially when we're in bonus meta. And him getting Gallop and then giving that to somebody of your choice is really busted. So yeah, it's hard to argue with him. He's good in Aetheroid's offense, where he can snag Foresight Snare. He's good in Summoner Duels, where he can also snag Foresight Snare. Maybe Aetheroid's defense is the only mode he's not good in, but that doesn't really matter. He makes up for it. All right, we also have the Cheerleader Byleth and Corrin by extension. Really good duo hero. I want to say overall they may be the best unit in the game, because for Aetheroid's offense, they're like a top 3. For Aetheroid's defense, they're like a top 3. And for Summoner Duels, they're like a top 3. So across the entire board, this unit is just completely domineering. Really powerful everywhere. So it would be hard to say they're not the best unit in the game, but there are, of course, other units in contention for that. But yeah, just a really good unit. They do so many things. 3-range style is the tits right now. If you have 3-range style, you're goated. And then they also give crazy amounts of great talent. They've got Vantage for disrupting the enemy's offenses if they're trying to attack into her. Just a really, really good unit. Okay, next up we have Mythic Heimdallr. Another really good unit. Foresight Snare, enough said. Especially in Summoner Duels. In Aetheroid's defense, there's more ways around it, but it's still annoying. And then she also sets up stall as well. So yeah, just really good. Yeah, also comparing her to the New Year Heimdallr, they both have advantages over the other. This one's advantage is that being a mythic hero, she gives the HP blessings to allies, and she also opens up the bonus slot. So that could be relevant if you're not running another bonus unit on your team, or another mythic hero on your defense team. She could be the one and done if you need her to be. All right, next up we have Groa, recent release, but very powerful. To describe this unit, I would say she's just Ilian Hilda, except as an offensive mythic hero, which is perfect. The amount of offense support that she gives is crazy, dude. Like, Groa is stacked beyond belief. And not only that, but then she also, as an offensive mythic hero, she gives access to the reinforcement slot, the bonus slot, all that stuff. If you got her at plus 10, you're just sailing. Like, Aetheroid's offense is going to be a breeze. And then she's really good in Summoner Duels, too. Just being an action economy buff bot. And then she can DPS on top of that. Like, dude, she's really good. The only mode she's not good is Aetheroid's defense. But, again, like Alphador, she makes up for it. And then finally, to wrap us up for blue, we have the New Year Balder. Yeah, actually, a unit that's kind of fallen a little bit. I don't feel like she's one of the very best anymore. Still good enough for top 5, though. I don't think there's any other blue unit that I might give the spot to over her. But, yeah, she is starting to feel her age a little bit. There are some recent releases that, even when she has color advantage, she just struggles against. So that does suck, but she's still pretty good. And hard to argue with her being top 5. She's good in basically all the modes: Aetheroid's offense, Aetheroid's defense, and Summoner Duels. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to green now. So starting us off for green, we've got the Fallen Male Byleth. We got New Year Heimdallr. We have Chosen Leggjarn. We got Baby Camilla. And then we have Harmonic Micaiah. So, Fallen Male Byleth. He's not that far off from the new Cheerleader Byleth we recently got. They both have 3-range style. She's giving maybe a little more support. He's more so like an offensive unit. He can also be a really sick frontliner. He has surprising amounts of bulk despite being a tome type with not that great base defenses. Him with like close counter support from anyone really, Valleys or Ikes that give it, really allow him to live and put it in on defense teams. He's a great Aether Raids defense unit, Aether Raids offense unit, and Summoner Duels unit, so just good across the board. We have the New Year Heimdallr. Her advantage over the Mythic Heimdallr is you can run her for offense, and Aether Raids offense with Foresight Snare is pretty busted, because most defense teams, they're only going to have like one unit that's going to reach your bottom row, if even that. So having Foresight Snare to just not only block them from attacking, but then also hit them with the isolation so they can't get danced or repositioned or anything, it's really dirty. So like offensive Heimdallr is really strong, and that is the one advantage to her over the defense Mythic one. All right, then we have Chosen Leggjarn, another pretty good unit. She's a recent release. Insane amounts of bulk. Just a really good frontline option. She's a flying melee type, so if you wanted, you could give her stuff like Heavenly Soar for her to warp and pass and stuff like that. And she also just deletes ice tiles on a whim, so that can be very effective. For Aether Raids offense, obviously the core in ring is like the most annoying thing in the world. She can get rid of that, and then on top of that, she's just like a really good offensive unit, like I said. So not much bad to say about her. She's good in basically all the modes. Aether Raids offense, Summoner Duels, maybe not so much defense, but that's fine. Okay, next up we got Baby Camilla. Probably the best aging unit in the entire game. Is Baby Camilla ever going to fall off? Probably not. But by the time she falls off, where we've got units that are just like doing what she does but way better, I don't even want to know what the game is going to look like by then. Probably Emblem Camilla is going to be the one. But yeah, for what it's worth, Baby Camilla still as monstrous as ever. And her setting up the haze tiles right at the start is really what it is. Like, just being able to reset the enemy terrain is so good. And her DPS is crazy. Unmitigated true damage is crazy. So, yeah, she's good everywhere. Aether Raids offense, defense, and Summoner Duels. Nothing bad to say about her. And we wrap us up with Harmonic Micaiah. Very good recent release. She inflicts Feud right at the start, which, very good. Aether Raids offense and Summoner Duels, you're going to take a lot of advantage of that, where units reliant on support are not going to be able to get it. So makes it easier for your guys to power through. And just overall, Micaiah is another one of these jack-of-all-trades units. She's doing a lot besides just the feud, like the penalty cleansing, similar to the attuned Micaiah. She's a nice DPSer. She can fly. She gives a lot of flyer support effects. So yeah, just a really good overall unit. I was debating a couple of other green units potentially above her, but at the end of the day, I think I just felt like she deserved it. All right, let's go ahead and move on to colorless now. So these are the top 5 colorless units. We've got the Arena Crom. We got Legendary Elise. We have the Brave Ectordeer. We got Ilian Hilda, and then we have Entwined Ninian. So Arena Crom, just a really great support option overall. Gives a lot of true damage to your allies. He neutralizes non-special Miracle. Great user of the Lin Ring, because he can snipe from far. Just overall, very good unit. Good in basically all 3 of the modes. Legendary Elise, you could argue, is the best Aether Raids offense unit in the game. Only saving grace is that it's only for Fire Season, though. So, yeah, if it's not Fire Season, you can't run her at all, which that is something to take advantage of. That is something to mention. But when it is Fire Season, defense is just a complete pain, because they can't do anything to stop her. So just a very, very powerful unit, and very good in Summoner Duels too, just like in Aether Raids offense. And she's good in Aether Raids defense as well. I've had some pretty good success running her on defense. So nothing bad to say about her. Brave Ectordeer got a lot better. I mean, he came out, he was okay. But as new skills came out, like Rise Above and Patience and also Iron Fighter, like all those skills really make this guy a lot better than he was. So, yeah, just great. And then he can turn somebody else into a save, which is relevant for certain modes like Chaos Season and Summoner Duels where you can only naturally run one save unit. He can help you out there. So, yeah, he's still one of the better save units for sure. Then we got Ilian Hilda, great supporter. Not quite as good as Groa. I think Groa is a little better, actually. But Hilda does have the button for the share spoils, which is a little better for Aether Raid's offense. In Summoner Duels, she's just an action economy buff bot. And even on Aether Raid's defense, she can be a pretty effective unit because she can just be a buff bot, turn one of your DPS units into a crazy nuker. So she can be good there. And then she's also another Duo's Hindrance unit. So just really good stuff from her. And finally, Entwined Ninian, the second. I don't know, you could even argue her being the best dancer. She's really good. She's just as good as Bride Peony. They do different things, though. Like, Bride Peony's giving a little more support. Entwined Ninian can actually mix it up as a player phaser herself after dancing. And you can give her, like, Edelgard Ring and stuff. So she could just help more with the Gale Forces. Just a very, very good overall unit. So, yeah, there you guys go. Those are my top 5 for every color. Probably not going to have full agreement with everybody on this, but yeah, that's how I'm feeling at the moment. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to this mode-specific tier here. So this is where units that I think are really, really good, but only in one mode are going to come in. So starting us off, we have Legendary Sakura. Obviously, in Summoner Duels, the long Kanto that she gives is really good, and blocking of Kanto control. Unfortunately, she's not really that necessary for Aether Raid's offense or defense. It's just really just extra. You don't need Kanto to negate Kanto Curb anymore if the offensive units just have 500 actions. So, yeah, she's more of a, like, extra thing. You don't really need her for Aether Raid's offense. Duo Thor, the evergreen unit. How many times have they tried to power creep Duo Thor, and it just never works? Like, she's just so good. The button, best button of all time. 5-row, 5-column, neutralize all bonuses. Crazy, man. And Duo Thor herself virtually does nothing. Like, she is literally just there for the button. And the button is a one and done as well. So that just goes to show how effective, how powerful that button is, man. It's so broken. It's so good. All right, then we have Niffle. Really good unit after the refine and being able to mid-turn set up ice with action economy while being a decent DPSer. Pretty good. We have also the Bride Air, very good overall penalty healer. And she takes over kind of where Emblem Micaiah and Dragon Ymir left off. She's just a more modern release than them, so she's just better overall. Got more support, and her being a dagger unit too. You can have her blow up traps in Aether Raids if that means anything to you. We have also the Harmonic Ivy. Really, it's just for Summoner Duels and is really just for her button. Just like Thor, I would call her a button merchant. Just pop the button and then reset terrain. It's really good. She has the same terrain setup as Camilla. It's the nearest foes, and then she sets up the haste tiles in 2 spaces of them. So, yeah, if the opponents are setting up ice and stone or whatever it is, vine tiles, mid-turn, you can just get rid of all that stuff, which is very powerful. Then we have Baby Edelgard and also Emblem Edelgard. They're really good for Aether Raid's offense, but that's about it. You're not going to be running them elsewhere. We got the Ninja Harid, who sets up ice in the most annoying way possible, where he sets it up within 2 spaces of the enemy team instead of your team. So that can be really annoying to deal with, and unless you've got, like, Chosen Lake Jarn, there's no way to really remove it at the start without doing anything, because Baby Camilla targets the foes with her haste tiles. They're not going to reach the ice tiles of Harid. So, yeah, for Aether Raid's defense, he's actually, like, really, really good, but he's not good anywhere else. Baldur and Hoder kind of touched upon them a little bit earlier at the start of the video. If you're running a defense team, they're going to be on it. Like, that's all there is to say. We have the 2 Shirenas, the Entwined Shirena, as well as the Brave Shirena. They're not quite as good as the Summer one, obviously, but the way that they give Gale Forces to allies and themselves is just way too good to pass up. For Aether Raid's offense, they're gods. Then we have Baby Tana, another god for Aether Raid's offense. Arguably the best Aether Raid's offense unit in the game. Unless it's Fire Season, then it's Elise. But yeah, Baby Tana, really crazy unit. And then finally, we have the Bunny Soth, who is a god for summoner duels. You can turn him into the final boss with all the support. And when you do that, he is really tough to beat. But are you going to be able to set him up to that degree in other modes like Aether Raids? Probably not. So, yeah, I would say he's more so mode-specific for summoner duels specifically. And that's going to wrap us up for the mode-specific tier list. Now, we do have honorable mentions. I don't know if I want to talk about every single one of these guys in depth because we got a lot to go over. We can just quickly skim through here and see like what's going on. We got the Summer Balder, who actually underperforms a little. I feel like she's not quite as good as the New Year one, who she was probably meant to replace. So that's a little unfortunate. We got all these Felix units, and by extension, I guess Fallen to Barn. They can be good Gale Forcers for Aether Raid's offense, but in my opinion, not good enough to crack top 5 or mode-specific tier. Yeah, like Bunny Thor with the support is nice, but probably not enough to crack into the top tiers here. Yeah, Emblem Byleth, surprisingly, yeah. I couldn't get him in top 5s for blue or for mode-specific, because there's just a lot of units that do what he does, but better. Like just action economy, possibly dance with his own ring, and then they're just better DPSs. It was really tough having him out of here. Yeah, like 3 range style units. We've got Brave Male Byleth, we got Harmonic Celica, and then Baby Claude and the Harmonic Lyn. They're all really good. Like just, as I said earlier, the 3 range style, it is the tits. It's one of the best effects to have. But some of them just do it better than others. That's all there is. Like Brave Byleth and Celica, you can definitely still get away with. Harmonic Lyn and Claude, you can definitely still get away with. But I don't think they're quite good enough to be in top 5 for each color. All right, anything else of note? Let's see here. Yeah, we got the Satyr units. They just end turns pretty much. Valley units, I was never the biggest fan of the Valley units. You guys know this. I had to really struggle to get them onto my last tier list, but I did eventually do it. At this point, I think it's just irrelevant. Yes, they need 2 actions to get rid of, unless you nullify the special, but that's not really that big of a deal anyway, because Aether Raid's offense has so many actions that it doesn't matter. And in Summoner Duels, they're starting to fall off now, too. So, yeah, not the biggest fan of them right now, but enough to be an honorable mention, of course. Jormungand, Iron Fighter fodder, that's what she is. Baby Erica's pretty cool with the range style, as is Mythic Lyn, of course, wherever she is. She's somewhere in here. Yeah, like, the giving range style to anyone is pretty good. Yeah, so Summer Ike, Banner Ike, whatever Ike, Cheerleader Ike. Could he have been in top 5? Maybe. It depends on how you want to argue it. I think he would replace Lucina, if anybody. But he's not quite doing as much as all these other guys, I think, to warrant being all the way up there. Oh, the 2 new Allirs. We have Aided Allir and also Rearmed Allir. The Aided Allir is kind of just a better version of the legendary male Allir, which is okay. I mean, that guy was a decent frontliner for a little bit. This Aided Allir, though, her combination of status effects that she gives is what makes her so cool, because she gives Draconic Hex and she gives Divinely Inspiring. Both of those are really rare, and to get them on one unit actually provides for a lot of crazy stat swings, because most units are just doing like the same old stuff. It's like Incited or True Charge or like stuff like that. Not really outside the box stuff like what she's doing. So yeah, the support from her is pretty nice. Yeah, Nurgle and Limstella, they have obviously Essence Drain, but Essence Drain stopping is so free now with that new C skill, Drain Cancel. Just makes them not quite as effective as they were. Yeah, Micaiah, Emblem Micaiah, I think she's still pretty good. It's just that the new Air is better. Like, she just does the penalty cleansing, and then she's just overall a better unit now. Duo Freya could arguably have maybe made it in. Duo Freya is still pretty good. She aged really good with the skills we've got now, like Instruct and Logic and Rise Above and stuff. I feel like Duo Freya could maybe make a case for top 5, but for the time being, I kind of like what I've got in top 5 more. Mythic Fomortis with Iron Fighter is pretty real. This is the best dude in the game to give Iron Fighter to. If you pull Jormungandr, just fodder her to Fomortis, and you won't be sorry. Him being able to live anything and then end actions is so good. He's also kind of a stopper to Elise, but it really depends on positioning and things like that. This Beach Tharja, well, not Beach, the Cheerleader Tharja, another really good unit. I wish she gave Instruct or Great Talent buffs, just like Ike and Violet do on the same banner. If she did that, man, she might even be in top 5 colorless. But unfortunately, she doesn't. But she is still doing a lot of support, though. So still a good unit. And then Emblem Leaf. Yeah, this guy, he just recently came out. I was honestly debating him versus Micaiah, but overall, I feel like the feud and the support that Micaiah does is a little better than this guy. He's not really giving much support. He's more so just like a frontline unit himself. He's like a bootleg Emblem Roy, where Roy's got the style, this guy's got the style. Roy has the miracle, this guy proxies that by having Omni color advantage, which in some ways is better, in some ways it's worse. He's not giving reflex, though, or the crazy drives that Roy does. Like, he gives Imbue drive, and then he gives tempo drive. Leaf is not doing the same amount of stuff, unfortunately. But just straight up as a unit, though, from what I've seen of him so far, he does feel like he has a case maybe he could be in top 5. For the time being, though, no. So, yeah, I can't talk about all these guys. We'd be here for another hour. So, yeah, this is your boy Tacho signing out. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section down below. What do you guys think of the top 5? Would you make changes? Let me know your own top 5s as well. And I will catch y'all again on the flip side.